Would an avoidant attached partner come back after leaving a relationship? Now, we want to look at timelines, and remember, this is generalized. We want to look at why they come back and what can happen after they return and what you need to look out for. Now, generally, someone with an avoidant attachment style can leave a relationship if they feel too pressured, if they feel like they're not good enough, if there are insecurity issues, like you may leave them for some reason, if they feel like they're not showing up as you want them to do, or you need them to show up. Or they may feel like, they've met someone else and that might be a better option. And those can be some of the reasons why they choose to leave. Now, after they would have left, you may see them moving on with their lives, and that can be heartbreaking, especially for someone who's got an anxious attachment style, who feels generally like they're not good enough, or they're not being chosen, or this just keeps happening to them over and over. Always remember, it's got nothing to do with you. We act from a place of our trauma. Hardly anyone ever sets out to hurt another person. And I'm not talking about narcissism here. I'm talking strictly about avoidant attachment styles and anxious attachment styles. We generally act from a place of trauma. So a person who cheats on you is someone who needs something that they do not believe they can find within themselves. It might be validation. We've got to learn how to validate our own worth. It might be believing that they can have more love out there, when we have to learn how to love ourselves first. So it's got nothing to do with you. Do they come back? Now, after they would have left, they may feel relief because they no longer feel like they have to show up a certain way in the relationship. They don't feel the pressures of it. They don't feel the obligations of it. And now they're happy and they're moving about and they're distracted for a while. But after some time would have gone by, they will begin to process this information. They'll begin to see that all they're doing is distracting themselves. They'll begin to notice the patterns that they've had in the past and how it's led them to where they are, and they will miss you. It is impossible for two human beings to be together, to enjoy each other, to love each other, and then just go about a clean break and just forget their feelings. It's not possible. So they will think about you. They will miss you. In about 3 to 4 months, they start to process everything that they could have done differently, could have done better, should have done better. And they are going to reach out. They may reach out with a hi or a hello. Now, this is general, right? We don't know exactly how people will act or react. Sometimes they don't respond or they don't reach out because of the fear of rejection. If they've walked out on you, then they don't know how they will be received. So if you do get that hi message, what they're really doing is testing the water to see if you're upset with them, if you're going to accept them in, if you're going to respond. If you respond, and I like to call it mirroring, exactly as they do, they're going to feel relaxed. And they may not reach out again right away. They're still processing, they're still thinking, they're still deciding. Now, what you want to do for yourself is to watch their actions. If you want to give them a chance, all well and good. I'm never someone to say that you should be doing it this way, or you should be doing it that way, or you should be doing it my way. You can only do it your way. You know what's best for you. Not someone on the internet, not someone who's written a book. You're the one in your skin. And one way that you could follow your own advice, even though if you may not know it, is listen to your body. What feels great, move towards it. What feels uncomfortable, question it. Is this something coming from my past? Is this a fear that's coming from my past? What am I worried about? What am I concerned about? Can I take control of my emotions? Or if it's so uncomfortable that you feel like there is impending danger, You want to move away from it and get to some more healing. But when they come back, if you choose to give them a chance, look for changes, look for intentions, ask questions for clarity, and hopefully you'll be more in a secure, attached space by then, so you know how to communicate your needs. Ask them how they can show up in the relationship, and listen. We want to make sure that we're not coming from a place of excitement and desperation. Because when an ex comes back, remember, we've spent all this time trying to figure out if they are going to come back. So when they come back, we could get clouded. We could get emotionally overwhelmed because now we have this thing that we want. We have this person. But you want to make sure that there are changes. If you've noticed that they've done no healing, no reflection, they don't know what went wrong in a relationship and how we could move forward and make sure that these things don't pop up again in the future, or if they do, how are we going to handle it differently, then there is a possibility this cycle will continue. And the unfortunate thing about the roller coaster between an anxious and an avoidant attached person is that as long as the push-pull dynamic starts, let's say you give them a chance, and then they do something and they leave again, and you give them another chance, what happens with the brain for both individuals is that they start to think this is the pattern, this is the norm, and you fall into the trap to a point where you both can take each other for granted. So chances are entirely up to you, how many you give them, but you want to be careful about, or more aware of how these cycles affect your psychology. It can be damaging to your confidence, your self-esteem, your self-worth, the way you value yourself. Because when you give an ex-partner a chance, 1, 2, 3, how many ever chances you're giving them, there's a possibility that you'll start to feel guilty for not being able to stand up for yourself. So the best thing that you can do when a partner leaves your life or you choose to leave, get the healing work done and be prepared. So should they come back, you would be in a better place to make the best decision for you. And what I find is when we make the best decisions for us, we're also making the best decisions for the people we love, for that partner, and for everyone else in our circle. I hope this helped. Subscribe to this channel for more on how we can heal our attachment style through empathy. I would ask you to share it if you found any value in this. And like I said, subscribe. You could find me on TikTok, Instagram, across social media. And until next time, thank you for being here.